the environment, reaching by carefree. Introduction. Can you imagine a wild polar bear in Hawaii? How about a palm tree at the South Pole? You may know that these things do not happen, but do you know why not? Habitat has the food, water, air, and shelter living thing needs. Habits have many parts that work together. As you read, you will learn why the pictures on the page could not be real. The building blocks of habitats. Earth has many habitats. To know why, let's learn about the building blocks of habitats. The first building block is latitude. Latitude measures how far a place is from the equator. The sun warms latitudes near the equator more. The sun warms latitudes near the North Pole and South Pole less. The second building block of habits is elevation. Elevation is how high or low a place is. The sun warms low places more than high places. Why is that? The air around Earth is atmosphere. It is like a blanket of air. The blanket is thick close to the ground, so it holds in more heat. The blanket is thin at high elevation, so it holds in less heat. Wowzer, the North Pole never gets dark in the middle of summer in June. The sun never rises in the middle of winter in December. At the South Pole, winter in June is completely dark. Summer in December is light but not bright. Climate is half of the third building block of habitats. Climate is weather over many years. Temperature, wind, and water in the air are all parts of climate. Different places on Earth have different climates. The other half of this habitat block is water and land. Almost 3/4 of Earth's surface is in water. Most of the water is in oceans. All the water is in lakes, streams, and underground. Earth's land is different from place to place. And these building blocks control what plants can grow in the place, and because plants are food for many animals, the plants control what animals can live in a place. So plants and animals are the last two building blocks of habitats. Other building blocks make Earth many different habitats. Surviving in habitats. Living things survive best in habitats where they have everything they need. Living things need food, water, and shelter. They also have room, safety, and a place to have and raise babies. Plants and animals in a habitat depend on each other. Every part of a habitat is important. All living things have adaptations to survive in their habitats. Some adaptations are helpful body parts. Other adaptations are helpful actions. Three of Earth's habitats. Earth's environment is made of living and non-living parts all over the world. The environment is made of lots of different habitats. Let's learn about three different habitats. The first habitat is a savanna in Africa. A savanna is a grassland near the equator at a low elevation. The climate is hot, and it is also dry most of the year. Heavy rain falls in the summer. It is too dry here for most trees to grow. A few trees grow far from one another so they can drink up the water that falls around them. Animals on a savanna do not have many places to hide. Zebras live in large groups to help them stay safe. Small animals hide under the ground. Cheetahs run fast to catch their food. Lions use their senses. Next, we will visit a forest in a middle latitude. This habitat is farther from the equator, so it is not as hot as a savanna. The climate changes more in different seasons, and winters are cold. Many trees in the forest stop their leaves in winter. Dropping leaves is an adaptation that saves energy. As the weather warms up again in spring, the trees grow new leaves. Animals in this forest have adaptations to survive the cold winters. Geese go to warm places to find food. Some animals save food to eat in winter. Other animals hibernate in winter. Now we will visit a polar habitat in the north of Canada. This habitat is called the tundra. Snow and ice cover the land for much of the year. Plants grow in places where the snow melts. Plants grow close to the ground to be safe from strong winds. The tundra does not have many trees. Deep roots will not grow in frozen ground. Many animals live for the winter. The animals that stay in winter have adaptations to help them survive the cold. Moose have thick fur to keep them warm. Seals and whales have lots of fat to keep them warm in cold water. Some small animals stay under the ground or live in winter. Changing habitats. Many things can change habitats. Animals are one thing that can change habitats. Beaver build dams across streams. The dams cause the streams to flood. The water causes the streams to flood. The water makes new habitats for frogs, turtles, and other animals. Earthworms dig tunnels in the ground. The tunnels let air into the ground. The air helps plants to grow better. Fires, floods, weather, and other things in nature change habitats too. Lava from a volcano destroys everything in its path, but it also makes a new habitat. Big storms can destroy an island or make a new one. People also change habitats. They cut down forests for food, wood, and to make farms. Sometimes people build cities that cover land with concrete and buildings. You can change the habitat in your own backyard. A garden brings new animals. A bird feeder brings many kinds of birds. People also change habitats by causing pollution. When people throw away phones and many other things, bad chemicals get into the ground and water. Erosion hurts habitats too. When people cut down forests, the roots no longer hold the ground together. Rain can wash away the soil. Conclusion. In this book, you learned about the building blocks of habitats. You also learned how all the things in the habitat belong together. Now you know why the pictures on page 4 could not be real. Each of Earth's habitats is a system. Each habitat is a home for the plants and animals that live there. When the habitat is upset, living things have a hard time surviving. What can you do to help the balance?